Hey guys, Cody Hofhine with Wholesaling Inc., the #1 wholesaling coaching program in the nation. And we are here to deliver yet another video right now that will trim through the fat and get you out there doing your first wholesale deal. Now, while we're here, let's hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell so it alerts you when we upload new, fresh content, because we're gonna be dropping content often. And in this video, we always get that question about when you're wholesaling raw land, is it the same as wholesaling like your traditional single family homes or even commercial properties? So we're gonna break that down right this second. All right, guys, we are gonna break this down. Wholesaling raw land. Is it the same as residential properties? Is it the same as selling a single family home or a multifamily property? No, it is very much different how you get involved with these deals. So let me tell you a story that will kind of break this down, and then we'll go over the key principles at the end. I'll write them up on the board. But ultimately, there are some new things that you have to do when you're wholesaling raw land. So first of all, I was going on an appointment. This is one of my first deals I ever did in wholesaling. I was about maybe 5, 6 deals into wholesaling. This was quite a few years back, just about 3.5 years ago. But I still remember this deal because it taught me so much. Because I didn't know much about land at this point. I didn't know how to value it. I didn't know how to put how many buyers were gonna be interested in it. There was so much that I didn't know, and it worked to my benefit. So I'm out on an appointment, and this gentleman had called me because I'd sent him a postcard to purchase his home. And so I sent out a simple postcard that just said, "My name's Cody, I'd love to purchase your home at 123 Main Street." And he calls me up, he's like, "Yeah, me and my wife are looking to sell the property." Awesome. I go out to the home, and he meets me at the door, and he says, "You know what, Cody, I know I brought you out here because me and my wife are looking to sell our property, but in the hour that it's been since you drove out here, me and my wife started talking again, and we actually don't want to sell this property. But I don't want to waste your time, but I do have a piece of land that we're trying to sell. We want to get rid of really quick." And because I knew nothing about the land, here's how the conversation went. I was literally right there with the wife, the husband. I said, "Listen, I know nothing about land. I'm not a builder. I don't build brand new homes. I wouldn't be the best choice because I would have to get this at like a really, really, really good price because I'm not comfortable paying a lot of money, and I really don't even know what the property's worth." And he's like, "No, we would give you a good deal on this land. Serious, we've been trying to get rid of it for quite some time." I was like, "Okay, tell me a little bit more about it." Because now it's like they knew I wasn't going to be the highest priced. I would need a swinging deal for it. And they're still kind of trying to convince me. And so they're like, "It's 3/4 of an acre. It's in this city." And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, that's a great city to be in because it's homes. It's not like it's out in the distance. It's not out in the boonies where there's no homes being built. Like, this is right in like Salt Lake County, almost in the heart of Salt Lake County. And he's telling us it's a 3/4 of an acre, and I'm like, "Awesome." I said, "But what are we talking here?" Because again, I don't do land. It's just not my thing. And so he starts to tell me, "But on this one, I'd give you a great deal on it. My gut tells me it's probably worth like $30,000 or $40,000. And I'm sitting there thinking, I don't know. I can't verify this. I have no idea. And I said, "Okay, so if it's worth $40,000, what are we talking? Like, how much of a discount?" And he says, "I'd sell it to you for $12,000. And I was like, I think it'd have to be better. Like, I know someone will probably pay $12,000, so I'm probably not your best fit. So why don't you try just selling it to someone else that might see the value of this property, and they could probably buy it at 12 grand, and it might be a great deal for you, it might be a great deal for them, but because I know nothing about it, it'd have to be like a swinging deal." And he goes, "Okay, so it would have to be like, I couldn't go any lower than 7 grand. I said, "Again, this probably is a great deal to someone, but I need a swinging deal. Like, I could probably, because I'd be buying it with my own money, I'd probably only buy it for $1,000, maybe $1,500. And he looks back at me and he's sitting there for a little bit. And this is when I was like, wait a second, is he really considering this offer? And he looks back and he's like, "Well, what if we did $4,500. And you could have this 3rd-acre lot. I said, well, let me do a little bit of due diligence, but yeah, let's do this. I think $4,500 sounds like it's, like, in my mind, I'm thinking, you can't go wrong. You're buying 3/4 of an acre in a lot that's in a developed neighborhood that could be, like, it could be either horse property, I didn't know where it was gonna be, it could be something that you put a home on, but to me, I'm sitting there thinking, I can't lose on this. It's $4,500, and he says it's worth probably $40,000. So almost 10 cents on the dollar that I'm able to put this under contract. So I ended up putting it under contract right then, and he says, the thing is though, it's gotta close by Friday because it's gonna go to the auction by like next week. And I said, okay, I think we could do this. So I put it under contract. We end up closing on it. I ended up buying it with cash. And then hindsight, let me tell you all that has transpired. This lot, I had no idea about it. I had no idea if you could build a home on it. I had no idea what it was zoned in. I had no clue. So I went down to the city and I'm sitting there talking to the city. I said, what do I have here? And he says, we have a 3/4 acre. It lines the canal and the city has an easement on that property. And so I don't know, you're gonna have to take some measurements and see if there's enough to make a driveway, but if so, yeah, you could put a nice home back there and this land would be worth some money. And so I go out to the property, I'm sitting there crossing my fingers, I'm like, please have enough distance, because there's this easement from the city so they can access the canal. And so I do the measurement, I come back and said, here's what we have. He says, that'll work. You can build a home on this land, and it's already zoned for the residential, so you can do this. I put it on the market, guys. Here's what I want you to see. I put it on the market. This home, or this piece of land was actually worth, we thought it'd be like 60 grand, 70 grand. It ends up going for like $98,000. Holy smokes. I had no idea. And we made a lot of money on this piece of land. But now let's break this down so that you can understand some of the principles when it comes to land. What is it that you need to do when you're wholesaling vacant land versus like a single family home or a residential home? The first thing is you have to get them at a deep discount. So number one, okay, number one is you've got to get it at a deep discount. And I'll tell you why. When I say deep discount, it's not like your single family homes where you can buy them at 40, 50, 60, 70 on up to 80 cents on the dollar, right? Depending on how good the home is, what is it that you're looking to do, what's the exit strategy if you're just simply selling it to a retail buyer, or you're gonna sell it to a turnkey landlord, whatever your exit strategy is, that gives you a range. Like, okay, if I get a home at 40, 50, 60, 70 cents on the dollar, great, I can do that. Not the case with land. You wanna buy it at 10 to 20 cents on the dollar. Why? That brings us to step number two. It's because you are going to have a very small list of buyers on your cash buyers list that are actually going to be interested. A lot of those individuals are fix and flippers. They're just fixing, flipping the home, putting it back on the market. Very few of your cash buyers actually want raw land and do everything from start to finish. So now instead of having like 150 or 300 or 1,000 cash buyers, you could see a list of 1,000 cash buyers shrink down to like maybe 25 buyers, maybe 25 buyers that's interested in raw land. So it's gonna be a niche list, your cash buyers. So if you don't have this at a deep discount, you're limiting to how many people of those 25 now that might even be interested in this deal. You've got to get it so low so that you can open up the gates and open up the doors to more cash buyers. Maybe some of your cash buyers that have never built a home from start to finish at the right price would be willing to build a home from start to finish. So 10 to 20 cents on the dollar so you can open back those gates that just closed down to the 25. You want to open it back up to like 150 because the price is so good. Now, because there was no big initial investment on this and I had the cash in the bank, I decided I can't lose on this, and if I end up losing on this, man, I've bought a car before and I bought it for 40 grand, and the moment I drove it off the lot, it already depreciated $4,500. So in my mind, I'm thinking, yes, it's $4,500, but I've invested $4,500 a lot, like in a million different ways that were worse ways of investing $4,500. On this one, it had the potential. It had that risk reward factor where it's like, put the $4,500 down, and at the end of the day, if it's a bomb and you can't do nothing with it, it's just $4,500. But the potential of it being worth $40,000 or $50,000 or $60,000, the risk and reward was I put that money down and it actually was $98,000. That is a huge win. I had no idea what it'd go for. I didn't even know. But what worked to my benefit was acting like you need, number 3, am I spelling that word right? Convince. I hope I spelled this right, guys. Somehow it looks weird to me. So convince me, that's number 3. When you're going in and you're talking about raw land, you want to go in there with the attitude of like, convince me why I should buy this land. Notice in there, I was never chasing the seller. I literally didn't know anything about land. That's why I was being completely honest with them. I know nothing about this. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what it's worth. I don't know how to put a value on this. I don't know if I'm getting a good deal. I don't know if it can be built on. I knew nothing. And because I knew nothing, I also told them, I don't know. It would have to be a swinging deal. And that actually made him almost like into this attitude of like, I'll be darned. I'm going to prove you right now why you need to buy this lot. Like, I'm going to prove to you why you have to do this and why it's such a good deal. Go in there with the attitude of, you need to convince me why I should buy this because I have other things I could be doing with my time, other things I could be doing with my money. I could be looking at other houses, which is my specialty, not looking at raw land. And so it's got to be a swinging deal. So go in with the attitude to have you be convinced, not you convincing them that they should sell you their raw land or their home for that matter. What was nice about this actually made me a better wholesaler for the retail market, for I should say the residential market, the single family homes. This was awesome training because I walked away thinking, how in the heck did this just happen? I have 3/4 of an acre now that I own for $4,500 that sold for, hindsight, $98,000. What went well? Why was I able to do that? It's because I wasn't pressing. I wasn't chasing them. The worst way to catch a dog is to chase the dog. The dog's just gonna run away. The best way to catch a dog is back up and run away from the dog. And then the dog's gonna start wagging his tail and start chasing you. So that's exactly what took place. And I learned so much from this one deal, knowing that I don't care. At the end of the day, I can walk away from this appointment knowing that, sorry, I don't want it. I'm not interested. But because I showed that disinterest and that I genuinely needed a great deal, otherwise it's not going to work for me, it made this deal turn into a phenomenal deal where I made a lot of money right out of the gates getting into wholesaling. So let's review those real quick. What are they? First, when you're doing raw land, you need to get it at a deep discount, 10 to 20 cents on the dollar. If the land is worth 100 grand, you can pay no more than $20,000 for this. You want to get it anywhere from $0 to $20,000. That's your price, okay? 10 to 20%, 10 to 20 cents on the dollar. And then the second one, because it's raw land, not all of your buyers want to deal with this type of situation. So you're going to have a niche list, meaning there's not going to be very many of your buyers that want to do this. All the reason why you have to get it at a deep discount so you can open it back up to more cash buyers. And then third is go in with the attitude and the mindset of, I don't want this deal, maybe someone else will want this deal. You would need to convince me why I should buy this home and would have to be my price. Like, I don't deal with this, I don't do this, so it'd have to be a swinging deal if you want to do this. And that's what led to an amazing wholesale deal, which ended up being a retail deal where I got a retail buyer to pay the most amount of money for this piece of land. I hope this has helped you out, guys. What I want you to do is comment down below as you have listened to this video. I want you to comment down below, when you come across raw land, what are you going to commit to so that you aren't trying to convince the seller? How are you prepping? What is the action you're going to take? So again, I'm kind of talking a lot here, thinking about what to comment down below. Share me one thing that you have learned from the video that you're going to act on, so that when you come across raw land, you know exactly how to handle the situation. Comment down below, and if you have any questions at all regarding raw land, please feel free to ask those questions down below. I'm always looking for those questions so I can help respond, but also your questions inspire future videos. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell. If you can do that, it's going to alert you to let you know when we upload new videos. Till next time, take massive imperfect action, and I will see you on the next YouTube video. Take care, guys.